Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing Network, bringing you a race today from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Today's 20-lap feature event will feature the Fanatec Rookie Street Stock Series in the very top split, highlighting the best drivers on the iRacing service today. Let's have a look at the starting grid. Starting in position number 18 in car number 16, racing out of California, it's Tony Pack. In the 17th starting spot, in the BR DeWitt car 15 from Arizona, it's Christopher Kowalski. Starting 16th, racing out of Los Angeles, California, in the Brandt Chevrolet, Alex McIntosh. In the 15th starting spot on the grid, in the Napa Mount Vernon Auto Chevrolet, racing from Bailey, Colorado, that's Aaron Johnson. Aaron will show up in your telemetry as car number 3, but on the screen as car 00. In the 14th starting spot, in the car number 4, Summit Racing Chevrolet, that's Michael Moran from New England. In the 13th spot, the Rust-eze Chevrolet of Christopher Trudell, Christopher from Canada. Starting 12th in car 17, Garrett D'Alessandro from Savannah, Georgia. In the 11th starting spot, in car 18, Greg Hess, racing out of Virginia. Now your top 10. Starting 10th in car number 8, that's Paul Lee from New England. In the 9th starting spot, in car 6, Brandon J. Wilson from the West. In the 8th spot, in car number 9, that's Owen Wines in the K&N Filters Chevrolet, Owen racing out of Michigan. In the 7th starting spot, the Sparco Chevrolet of Jesse Gonzalez. Starting 6th in car 13, racing out of Texas, it's Theo Coburn. In the 5th starting spot, racing from Alicante, Colombia, in car number 5, that's Juan Bustamante. In the 4th spot on the grid, running number 10, that's the Captain Crunch Chevrolet of Diego Mastretta, Diego racing out of Mexico. In the 3rd starting spot, the Duff Beer Chevrolet, that's an homage to the Simpsons. That's Cal Corey racing out of Australia or New Zealand. On the front row, starting on the front row outside, car number 12, Thomas Johnson in the Logitech Chevrolet, Thomas coming to us from Indiana. And on the pole in car number 1, it's John Tuckness in the New Dangers Chevrolet, John racing out of Nashville, Tennessee. Tuckness among the very best of drivers on iRacing. He currently sits in the top 25 in the Legends Cup, the Street Stocks, and racing in the top 25 as well in the SK Modifieds, also doing a little ARCA racing. Juan Bustamante out of Alicante, Colombia, one of the great drivers in this series from South America. Aaron Johnson running in the top 30 in the SK Mods, and also in the top 25 in the Legends cars. Started well in the back this time, unusual for Johnson. Tuckness leads them to the checkered flag. The pace car is in. It's John Tuckness with the lead, followed by Johnson, Corey, Mastretta, and Bustamante. Tuckness in the 1 brings them into turn number 2, now heads out onto the back straightaway. The 7 of Cal Corey's moved up into second. Corey closing on the 1 of Tuckness. The 10 of Diego Mastretta running third. Things change quickly here at Charlotte as it's Tuckness, Corey, and Mastretta running 1, 2, 3. Bustamante making a move on the inside. Juan Bustamante working his way up to the 4th spot. Tuckness leading the cars out of turn number 3 now into turn 4 onto the front straightaway. It's going to be Tuckness with a little bit of a lead over the 7 of Corey. Then it's the 10 of Mastretta, the 5 of Bustamante. Thomas Johnson's gotten shuffled back all the way to 5th. The 13 of Theo Coburn working his way up to 6th, followed by Gonzalez, Wilson, Owen Wines, and Garrett D'Alessandro rounding out the top 10. A little bit of action in the back there. Somebody looks like they got a little bit sideways, but no harm, no foul, no caution. Another little incident as the 4, that's the 4 of Michael Moran, ends up in the infield. We can go back and take a look at what happened here. Moran to the back out front with John Tuckness, followed by the 7 of Cal Corey. Then Mastretta, Bustamante, Thomas Johnson's worked his way up into the 5th spot in that 12 car. Behind Johnson's the 13 of Theo Coburn, the 6 of Brandon Wilson. The 10 and the 5 kind of having a little nudge fest there. Looks like the 5's trying to root his way under the 10. The inside line at Charlotte's the fast line. It's hard to pass on the outside. It can be done, but you need a little bit of help. Right now, it's Tuckness and and Cal Corey up front. A little gap back to Diego Mastretta in the 10 and Bustamante in the 5, then Thomas Johnson in the 12. Tuckness leads them through the tri-oval. It's going to be John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 7 of Corey, the 10 of Mastretta, and the 4 of Bustamante. Tuckness out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Cal Corey takes a look to the inside. No dice. It's Tuckness, Corey, Mastretta, Bustamante, Johnson, your top 5. A little gap now from Johnson to the 13 of Theo Coburn. Let's look at that second group. In that second group, it's Coburn in the 13, followed by the 6 of Wilson, the 9 of Wines, the 17 of D'Alessandro, and the 11 of Gonzalez. Just behind that group, the 8 of Paul Lee and what looks like maybe the 00 of Johnson. No, Johnson's been passed by the 2 of Alex McIntosh. That group a significant distance behind this lead pack. Back up front, it's still John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 7 of Corey, the 10 of Mastretta, the 5 of Bustamante looking to the outside. Bustamante from Alicante, Colombia, looks to the outside of the 10. Can he get the pass done here as they come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway? This time they'll come through the tri-oval. It looks like Bustamante's made a run on the outside, but Mastretta closes back on the inside. The 12 of Johnson choosing to go with the 10 of Mastretta. That's going to make it hard for Bustamante to get any help on that outside line. The outside line without drafting partner is a difficult place to be. We can see 2 distinct groups now. The top 5, then a little gap to the 13 of Theo Coburn. Behind them, another gap to the group that's led by Alex McIntosh in the 2. Out front, it's John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 7 of Corey, the 5 of Bustamante. Bustamante on the outside. He's got a bigger run this time. He's made a little bit of ground, still unable to get back into the inside line. So it's going to be Tuckness, Corey, Bustamante, and Mastretta. The 5 of Bustamante quick on the outside. Looks like he's pulled up about a half a position. It's going to be Bustamante running to the outside of the 7 of Corey and the 10 of Mastretta. John Tuckness has led every one of the first 7 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tuckness on the outside, Tuckness on the inside, Corey on the inside. Bustamante working that high line. He's managed to move all the way up to second position. Juan Bustamante making the high line work, using the side draft, it looks to me like, to gain a little bit of position. We've got an 11-car pack running up front. 11 cars all together here. 10 cars all together here, sorry. With the 11 of Jesse Gonzalez just a little bit behind this group, then a gap to the 2 of Alex McIntosh. A little internet lag there. It's the 1 of Tuckness continuing to lead, the 7 of Cal Corey all over Tuckness' back bumper, the 5 of Bustamante on the outside. Hard, close racing here. Juan Bustamante has worked his way up to second place, running that outside groove all by himself. Bustamante with a very good race car. John Tuckness continues to lead as he brings the field through turn number 2 out onto the back straightaway. John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 5 of Bustamante on the outside, the 7 of Corey on the inside. Behind Bustamante and Corey, it's the 10 of Mastretta. Now the 17 of Garrett D'Alessandro making a run up the outside line. D'Alessandro deciding to try to make that high line work. He's working on the 12 of Johnson for 5th spot. As they come into the tri-oval, it's still going to be Tuckness leading by about a fender as we complete lap number 9. This lap will mark the halfway point of the race. Tuckness and Bustamante side by side. The 7 of Corey behind Tuckness. Tuckness and Bustamante get together just a little bit. That's going to slide the 5 of Bustamante up high. Bustamante loses a couple of spots. It's going to be Tuckness, Corey, Mastretta. The 17 of D'Alessandro goes on the outside of Bustamante, makes it 3 wide as they go into turn number 3. Bustamante in the center, the 17 of D'Alessandro on the outside, the 10 of Mastretta on the inside. They're 3 wide through turn 4 onto the tri-oval. Bustamante manages to pull ahead of the 17 of D'Alessandro, and at the halfway point, it'll be John Tuckness with the lead. Tuckness now has led every lap of this race, leads the first 10 laps, leads at the halfway point. Tuckness, Corey, then the 5 of Bustamante working on the outside again, trying to regain the positions he lost when he and Tuckness touched back about a lap and a half ago. Tuckness, Corey, Mastretta, Bustamante, then the 12 of Johnson and the 17 of D'Alessandro side by side. Behind them, the 9 of Owen Wines also in this group. Then the 8 of Paul Lee, the 6 of Brandon Wilson, the 13 of Coburn, the 11 of Jesse Gonzalez also has fallen away from this group. So it's a significant gap back from these top 10 cars to the 11 of Gonzalez, the 2 of McIntosh, and the 3 of Aaron Johnson, who's actually in the 00. Looks like it's a 10-car battle for the lead with 9 to go. It's a 10-car pack. Tuckness continues to run the low groove, holds that car right on the blue line. It's Tuckness, Corey, then Bustamante, the 10 of Mastretta, the 17 of D'Alessandro. Those cars running in a very tight pack. The top 6 very close to one another, but it's still the 1 of Tuckness with the lead. There are 8 laps to go, 7 to go. The next time by, Tuckness leads them down the back straightaway. The car's running nose to tail. Cal Corey all over Tuckness. Behind Tuckness, it's the 10 of Mastretta. Bustamante working that high line again. Bustamante working his way around. He's managed to move all the way back up to be side by side with the second place car of Cal Corey. Out at turn number 4, Bustamante with a run as they come toward the start finish line. Still going to be John Tuckness with the lead. There are 7 to go. Tuckness in front, followed by Bustamante. The 17 of D'Alessandro looks to the outside again. Nearly a disaster there, as there was very little room for D'Alessandro and Bustamante. Up front, John Tuckness leads. Bustamante on the outside. D'Alessandro has worked his way into second. He gets underneath Tuckness, and Tuckness runs him all the way below the blue line. Tuckness gets into the 5 of Bustamante as well. John Tuckness pulls a heavy block there and pays a little bit of a price for it, but manages to maybe extend his lead to 3 or 4 car lengths. Cal Corey, the beneficiary of that action, as Corey in the second spot is going to be pulling in, using the draft to chase down John Tuckness. We can see that Corey has already closed within about a car length and a half. There's 6 laps to go as we come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. It's still John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 7 of Corey, the 10 of Mastretta now in third. The 17 of D'Alessandro in fourth, with what looks like Bustamante to his outside. Up front, still John Tuckness with the lead, followed by the 7 of Cal Corey, then the 10 of Diego Mastretta. Those cars running 1, 2, 3. Juan Bustamante has worked his way up into the 4th spot. The 17 of D'Alessandro is 5th. The 12 of Johnson running 6th now. That's allowed the 11 of Jesse Gonzalez to close just a little bit on this lead group with all that action. Let's go back up front to the 1 of John Tuckness. Tuckness followed by the 10 of Mastretta. Mastretta working his way under the 7 of Corey. It's Tuckness, Mastretta, Corey, 1, 2, 3. Then a gap to the 4th place car of Juan Bustamante. Looks like Mastretta's managed to get position on John Tuckness. It's Mastretta on the inside, Tuckness on the outside. Those 2 cars running side by side. They've opened up a little bit of a gap between themselves and the 3rd place car of Juan Bustamante. Bustamante has been tenacious in running down the leaders. This is his 3rd charge to the front, both times after a contact with John Tuckness. Mastretta up front. He's taken the lead as they come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. It's going to be Mastretta, followed by Tuckness, then Bustamante. Tuckness comes back on the outside at the line. Who's going to take the lead here? It looks like it's going to be a dead heat. Tuckness and Mastretta side by side. Bustamante running in 3rd now. Mastretta on the inside, Bustamante in 3rd, Tuckness on the outside. Johnson in the 12 has moved back up to 4th. The 9 of Brandon Wilson, or Owen Wines, is 5th. The 6 of Wilson, the 6 of Wilson is 6th. It's my bad. Up front, it's still John Tuckness. Tuckness on the outside, Mastretta on the inside. Out of turn number 4, on into the tri-oval. This time by, there will be 2 to go. And at the line, the lead is going to belong to Tuckness. Looks to me like John Tuckness took that one. Although iRacing's telling me it's Mastretta, I don't believe it. Mastretta, Tuckness, the 5 of Bustamante, the 12 of Johnson, then the 9 of Wines, the 6 of Wilson, and the 13 of Coburn. Those are your top 7. Tuckness gets spread up really high. The 5 looks to the outside of the 10. They think about going 3 wide into turn number 3, but it's nothing doing there. It looks like the 5 of Bustamante is going to be trying to get underneath Tuckness. He gets 2 wheels on the inside line. The 5 all over the place. Car's getting a little out of shape as they get 2 wheels on the inside line. At the flag, 1 to go this time by. It's oh, crash, big crash. It looks like the 10, the 5, the 1, all involved. Lots of action there. We're going to see that the 13 was involved. The 12 was the only one that looks like he wasn't involved. That's the 12 of Thomas Johnson. He's the beneficiary of a huge accident that took out most of the leaders. Mistretta, Tuckness, Bustamante, Wines, Wilson, and Coburn all taken out in that accident. That's going to give the lead and probably the win to Thomas Johnson in the 12. At the flag, it's Thomas Johnson with the win, followed in second. Who finishes up second here? Johnson with the win. It looks like Aaron Johnson in the 00 is going to finish up second. Let's go back and see if we can have a look at what happened in that accident. Let's see a replay here. There's the 5 of Bustamante. He gets to the outside. He and the 10 get together. They slide up into the 1. That throws Tuckness into the wall hard. Then the 5 clips the 9, turns the 6, and that takes out the 13 as well. The 5 of Bustamante with a wild ride. Let's see if we can get a little different look at this from a different angle. We're right along with the 6 car of Brandon Wilson. There's the crash. 5 comes down. That hammers the 6, drops the 6 down into the 13. So Wilson takes a pretty hard ride as well. That takes out a lot of the leaders. The guys in the back here, the 2 of, Johnson, then the 2 of Alex McIntosh, the 11 of Gonzalez. With the beneficiary, Johnson makes a good move around the outside to get by the 2. Looked like the 2 maybe got into the 6 a little bit and had a little bit of damage. In any case, it looks like the win is going to go to the 12 of Thomas Johnson. It's going to be Thomas Johnson with the win, followed by the 00 of Aaron Johnson. And then the 2 of McIntosh, the 11 of Jesse Gonzalez, and the 15 of Christopher Kowalski is going to finish out the top 5. Behind them, it'll be the 10 of Diego Mistretta coming home in 6th. It looks like, let's make sure that that's the case. Looks like Mistretta came home in 6th. Tony Pack in the 16 comes home 7th. Theo Coburn 8th. Paul Lee 9th. Cal Corey's going to round out the top 10. Tuckness, who led every lap of that race but the last one, but the last 2, he didn't lead every lap, but he ran up front. He ends up coming home 12th. Bustamante in the Budweiser car, who really struggled the entire race, is going to come home 13th. Brandon Wilson and Owen Wines will be 15th and 16th. Garrett D'Alessandro, who had worked his way up to second at one point, will finish in the 17th spot. What a race, and what a wild finish that was. Aaron Johnson of the Johnson iRacing team, the beneficiary of a huge accident. Johnson moving up from 12th to 2nd because of a mistake, incidental contact between the 10 of Mistretta, the 5 of Bustamante, that took out really the top 8 cars. You take races and you take points however you can get them. Johnson scoring some good points there, as did Alex McIntosh and Jesse Gonzalez. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.